Guys, what is good? We are back. Another episode of Marvin's Room. And I wanted to jump on here today and make this video and talk about something that I see too often with the people that I'm dealing with and talking to, whether I'm coaching them or whatever the case may be. But I realize that people will literally put out an intention to manifest something or pray for something. And then right after they do that, they literally go back and they start looking at the evidence of what is. And what I mean by what is, they go back and they look at the evidence of what is in their current reality instead of looking for the evidence of what it is that they want to manifest into their life. And I realize so many people are doing this, and this is a huge problem that I see, and it's a huge problem that's stopping you from manifesting what it is that you want to manifest. Because when you ask or when you pray or do your visualizations, but then immediately you go back to looking at what is going on in your current reality. For instance, if you want to manifest more money or a better job, you say your affirmations or do your visualizations, and then you immediately go back and start to look at what is in your current reality. So for instance, you may say do your affirmation or your visualization, and you immediately go back and start looking and worrying about there not being enough money in your bank account and stuff like that. And I realize this is jeopardizing a lot of people's manifestations and visualizations. Now, an example of something that I do, for instance, I'm in the process of manifesting my dream house that I want to live in. So how I do that is I visualize, and I say my affirmations, and I visualize the dream house that I actually want to live in. And I say my affirmations, isn't it wonderful? I am now currently living in my dream house. Isn't it wonderful? This master bedroom is exactly what I wanted. I say things like that. Now, once I stop saying my affirmations and doing my visualizations, I then begin to look for the evidence that it's getting closer and that it's getting nearer or that it's here now. And the way that I do that is I focus on the wealth, I focus on the opulence, I focus on the nice houses that are already around me, because I literally live, a couple few hundred yards from, some nice mansions. And so after I do my visualizations and my affirmations, I tell myself it's so close, it's near, because I can literally see these mansions that I live by. My neighbors are already millionaires, so I'm so close to that level. I'm so close to that point to being able to manifest my dream house. And so I'm looking for the evidence. I'm seeing it. I'm believing that it's there. And this is a problem. Like I said, I see too many people that are trying to manifest their dreams, etc. They say things. They say their visualizations. They say their affirmations, and then they go back to expecting what is, or they expect the worst to happen instead of expecting what they want to happen. And you guys have to start expecting what you want to happen and start looking for that to happen. Now, there's a story I wanted to tell you now that I'm talking about this. There's a story from Abraham Hicks, one of the ladies that went to go visit Abraham Hicks in her workshop. She had talked about how she had manifested $30,000, and what she did was she put out an intention to the universe to manifest $30,000. And she just started out, she said it, and she dropped it. She let it go, which is another huge piece in itself, is letting it go. And then she said as she began to go on about her day, she began to get excited. She began to get excited. Wait a second. Let me actually backtrack though. Let me give you the stipulation. She said she wanted to manifest $30,000, and she said that her stipulations had to be, she wanted to happen in a fun way where she was laughing a lot, and it was very happy situation. She didn't want anyone to get hurt. She didn't want anyone to die. So those were her stipulations, part of her stipulations for her manifestation. So fast forward now, she manifested, she wanted to manifest the $30,000. And so after she had the thought, she said she began to move through her days getting excited. She started to think, wow, I wonder how this is going to happen. And she started to get ideas and think, am I going to be walking one day and I'm going to find a diamond ring, or am I going to win the lottery somehow to get it? She started to get excited about how it could happen. And this is something that you have to do as well. You have to get excited at the fact of how it could happen and stop thinking about it not happening and what is currently in your reality. So as she was doing this, she then realized, she went to the store one day, and she went to go buy a dress. And as she went to go buy the dress, she had the thought. She said, "Wait a minute, I don't have any money to buy this dress." And then the thought hit her, wait a second, I'm getting ready to manifest. I'm getting ready to receive $30,000, so it doesn't matter. So that belief, that faith, allowed her to go ahead and purchase the dress and make the first move, and showing active faith. So she went ahead and bought the dress, and she continued to get happier and happier. And again, like I said, she just started daydreaming about the ways that it could happen. And she would think, wow, is an armored truck gonna, just spill money out of nowhere? She would think these things and say these things. So eventually, what ended up happening was a friend of hers, that she hadn't seen in quite some time, phoned her and said, "I'm coming to visit you." And so when her friend had came and seen her and visited her, the friend told her that she had won the lottery. And then she looked at her friend and said, "Great, so does that mean I get to get my $30,000? And her friend said, "Yes, absolutely." And they both just laughed and they laughed and they enjoyed the time. And as she was laughing, she stopped and she thought about it, and she said, "Wow, this is exactly how I wanted, my manifestation to happen." She said, "I wanted it to come about a very joyful way. I wanted to be doing a lot of laughing, etc., etc." And so the way she manifested it, the way she wanted it to happen, with her stipulations included, is exactly how she manifested the $30,000. She didn't worry about the how. She started to get excited about the how because she knew it was going to come in a way that she exactly wanted it to come. And so she got excited, and she didn't look at what was. She looked at what she wanted it to be. And she began to get excited and began to, just marvel at the ways that it could come to her. And I wanted to share this story with you guys to let you guys understand this is what you have to do after you say your affirmations, after you say after you do your visualizations. Stop saying your affirmations and visualizations and then looking or thinking negatively at what is currently going on in your reality right now. Because in this situation with this lady, if she had stopped looking at what is, if she had stopped looking at what she wanted and started to focus on what is, it probably wouldn't have happened. And it definitely wouldn't have happened as quick as it did happen, because it happened fairly quickly. And she went ahead and bought the dress. Now, again, you can apply this to other areas of your life if you want, if it's money, you know what I mean? You want to manifest more money in your bank account. Stop looking at how much money is in your bank account and start looking and getting excited about all the ways that the universe can supply you with more money. Start looking at that, focusing on that instead of focusing on, oh, I don't have enough money in my bank account. I don't know where my bills are going to come from next. I don't know how I'm going to pay my cell phone bill. I don't know how I'm going to pay this bill. And I realized after talking to so many people, this is what people do. They pray, they ask, or they visualize what they want, and then they immediately go back to old negative thinking, and they start to expect the worst, or start to think of all the bad things that could happen, all the wrong things that could go wrong, etc., etc. And I wanted to share a couple of these stories in my situation, exactly what I'm doing, as well as share this story about the lady from Abraham Hicks that won the $30,000, and I will post a link to that video below in the description. All right, guys, I just wanted to hop on here again, make this video. Stop doing your visualizations and affirmations and then expecting the opposite. Stop doing that. Start expecting what it is you're visualizing. Start looking for the evidence. Start looking for the evidence, because you will see whatever you focus on. It's no different than when you buy a car and all of a sudden you start to see that car everywhere. Why? Because you have that car. You focused on that car. If you say, look for a red car, you're going to start focusing on red cars everywhere. And this is the same thing. It's no different with your manifestations and your visualizations. Start focusing on what it is that you want. After you visualize it and say your affirmations, start expecting it. Start thinking of all the beautiful ways it can happen. Start getting excited. And I'm telling you, great things are going to happen. All right? Marv's Room. You guys know where. You guys know when. See you next time.